1, 2, a 1, 2, 3.
Today we're going to be talking about a Christian girl and what her perspective is on serving God, and I'm going to be giving you a few verses and really looking at the sort of overall concepts of what it is for the Christian girl to have a servant's heart and to serve God in that way. So I'm really excited. Let's get started. So the act of serving God is really a huge umbrella that has so many categories that fall under it. It can go from anything to academics and serving God in your work. It can go from serving God to your home, all the way to serving God in church and being part of ministry. But really, when we look quite closely at it, it really is a state of being. It's a state where you are completely giving yourself to God, and this is taken from Romans 12 verse 1 says that it should be a spiritual act of worship, serving God and giving yourself to God in that way. It says give your body as a living sacrifice. This can sort of fall under many categories. Giving yourself is giving your mind, your heart, the things that you do, what you spend your time doing. It's a total pursuit of purity in yourself and dedicating every single work of your life to God and to what He has for you. We're really called to worship God with our lives and to have our entire being completely dedicated and given and sacrificed to Him so that He can use us in whichever way that He wants, for His kingdom, for His glory. And it's a really great walk to begin. It's a great journey to follow and to pursue. And it really starts when you decide to give yourself to God. And it's a vulnerable place to be because you're really giving yourself over to the control of someone who you are yourself trying to figure out. You know, we can't figure out God and we can't figure out what His plan for us is all of the time, but we can take step by step, day by day, and by reading His word and talking to Him, praying to Him, and to having that amazing relationship with Him, we can really be able to see what that looks like. For many Christian girls, this can be quite a hard pursuit. We are constantly reminded of material wealth and material riches in this world, that sometimes it is a challenge to set that aside and set yourself apart and ask God to fulfill His will in your life. Part of this will is to serve Him and also to serve others. I'm sure many of us have heard of the term of having a servant's heart, and that really is a basis for all of Christianity. We see that Jesus, even in His ministry, had that constant servant's heart. We live in a selfish society. We live in a constant state of being prideful in ourselves and what we can do and who we are, that sometimes we do forget to see what the bigger picture is, and the bigger picture is to serve others, to serve God, and to have that servant's heart. The servant's heart is a Christian term that is used all the time. I think I must have heard of it first in 19 Kids and Counting, a great show, but honestly I didn't really know exactly what it meant. I sort of understood the basis of it and what it meant to the Christian woman or the Christian girl, but I didn't really understand what it was in itself. And I've been doing some research on this just to make sure I have my facts straight, I guess. The perfect definition is taken from Philippians 2, where it talks about Christians considering others better than themselves. And this is really what the servant's heart is. It's about having that constant state of humility. Humility is such an important quality in the Christian walk. It's like love and humility and obedience. I mean, those are like the basis of the Christian faith. And humility is something that, you know, is really hard to sort of come to. Jesus Himself warned against this facade of pretentious living. He talks about it in Matthew 6, where he basically views all the Pharisees and people that basically Christians do not want to be like, who would parade themselves in the streets and pray out loud all the time, wanting people to hear them. I'm sure, you know, we all have our experiences with modern day Pharisees. Aside from that, he was saying that the act of giving and the act of serving people in that way should be done in complete secret. He says, you know, don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. It's not about, you know, putting one hand behind the back and trying to work it out that way. It's really about not letting yourself get caught up in the act of giving and the act of being religious, and to really find your heart in whatever it is you're doing, whatever it is you're serving with, and finding God in that, and reaching the state of humility in everything that you do. If there's anyone in the whole of history who should have been served, I definitely say it would be Jesus. I guess I'm slightly partial, but he's the only one really worth serving, and he himself said that he didn't come to be served but to serve. That in itself is a really big deal, and it's something that Christians should really pay attention to. In 1 John 2, one of my favourite verses, it basically says that we should live as Jesus lived. Our job as Christians is to imitate God and to become more like him. That's the whole point of pursuing Christian life, is to eventually become one with him, become one with his spirit. And I guess perfection obviously can only come when that which is perfect has come. Perfection in terms of character can really only come when the end has come, when we're with Jesus and we're in his presence forever. But for now, it should be our goal and our pursuit to become more like Jesus, to imitate his very being, and to pursue his life within our lives. For some of you who are watching who maybe aren't Christians right now, no one should confuse the world's stereotypical view of servants, you know, hating their master and doing stuff just because they were told, and all that kind of horrible stuff. No one should really confuse that with serving God. It's a joy and it's an amazing thing to be able to give back to someone who's given so much to you. And it's not a base of, you know, sort of repaying and trying to fulfill a debt or anything. Just to be able to serve someone who has given you so much and given you your life and your eternal life. I mean, it's not exactly paying a debt, but it's a joy. It says that in Psalms 100, that we should serve God with gladness and come before him with singing and rejoice in him. God doesn't want a fleet of Christians who just go to church for the sake of it and don't really understand and see how true his love is. Honestly, to them. I can't think of anything better. It really is our duty as people who have been completely saved by God and saved by his amazing love for us, his ability to serve and be the servant of all. It's really an incredible thing to be able to do. It is our duty to be able to serve him and to serve him well, and it's an exciting thing to do. The Christian walk is amazing, and I am so glad that, you know, millions and I guess billions of people around the world have made the decision to do so. But it really is about taking that step further and pursuing him. I always say that if I'm going to go for God, I'm going to go for him 100%, and it's an incredible thing to do. I would highly recommend it, actually. Okay, so key points from what I said today. Serving God is a state of living. It's an act of worship, and it's a form of giving your lives to him. Serving God must be done in complete humility and not seeking any self-gratification or any self-glory. Serving God can consist of everything that you do. It's your life, and it's giving yourself as a sacrifice to him. Serving God means that you have a servant's heart and you ask God to help you consider other people better than yourself. That in itself can be a challenge, but it's something we must do, Christian girls. And don't let the selfish society of the world and materialism corrupt you. Look at Romans 12 verse 2. Don't let the material things of the world stir your eyes from what the real goal is, and that's becoming more like Jesus, 1 John 2. 1 John 2. Lastly, serve the Lord with gladness, have fun. The Christian walk is absolutely amazing. I wouldn't trade it for the world, and having an amazing relationship with God is something that we all need to pursue, something that all we need to strive for, and more than anything I hope that it's something that you can personally achieve. God bless you all. I had so much fun talking to you today. I'll definitely follow up with a couple more videos on serving God just to kind of get into the nitty-gritty parts of it, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye.
It's just a long way